What's up, everybody? It's time for the Chicago Bears Roundup. Big news coming into this week. Phil Emery making moves. I've been really impressed with Phil so far. Getting Jared Allen signed. Now, there was a lot of reports coming out that Allen had signed with the Seattle Seahawks, but I guess not. He's here in Chicago now. Really exciting to see him come to Chicago, all things considered. Jared Allen's going to be huge for the Chicago Bears. A lot of moves that Phil Emery's made really boasted the defensive line back up, as it was really down last year. Jared Allen's a player that can play in the outside. Lamar Houston, other player, can come in, play any technique. Also looking at Willie Young. He's, all these defensive ends we've signed can play in the interior and the outerior, and don't disregard Israel Idonije, as he can come in and play in the interior. When he was in Chicago a few years ago, before he left to go to Detroit, he was a player who could play on the interior and could succeed at it. He's not a big nose stopper or anything, but he can still fill the gaps, and in the Tampa 2, filling the gaps is always huge. And now I know Mel Tucker's trying to change all that a little bit. There's been talks of the 3-4 and all that stuff, but still, I think the signing of Jared Allen is going to be huge. I know people are right now saying, let's get rid of an old defensive end and sign another one. Jared Allen was still a lot better than Julius Peppers was last year. And Julius Peppers, like I said, you can't replace athleticism, but you can replace toughness. And last time I checked, Jared Allen didn't miss too many games, and that's always huge to see a player not missing many games. Jared Allen can fill that role that Julius Peppers is gone, so Jared Allen fills that void. Now, I'm happy to see him come. Another thing that, switching gears over to offense again, and, contract year's coming up pretty soon for Marshall, and says he's not worried about a contract extension. I'm not worried about it. Phil Emery seems like a guy who wants to win, and he's gonna give Marshall his money when times do. One thing to keep in mind, though, is Alshon Jeffrey's gonna have to get paid, and if he has another stellar year like he did last year, he's gonna get paid a lot of money as well. And the only person I think that's not gonna bode well for is gonna be Martellus Bennett, because I feel like we are gonna target a tight end in about the 5th round this year to slowly replace Martellus. I know he's young, but he's not he is a Phil Emery guy, actually. Let me take that back. He is a Phil Emery guy. But Martellus is a good player, but I just feel like if Alshon gets the money that he's going to deserve, if he has another stellar year this year, not breakout, it's going to be hard, because it's going to be hard to pay all that money. We're going to lose players, of course. I know Phil is probably expecting Lance to be gone in about 2 years, because Lance Briggs is getting pretty old. It's hard for a linebacker to play that many years, and at the level that Lance Briggs has played at for the last 12 years. And also Charles Tillman should be retiring in about 2 or 3 years. We did re-sign him. That was huge. I talked about that last show. But talking about Brandon Marshall, he's 29. He's not on the decline either, so there's no reason to say he's on the decline, because he's not. But I could see Brandon Marshall have another 4 years of solid play. I mean, he won't be as fast, but he's tall, and you can't replace a wide receiver that's tall, especially in the red zone. You can throw those back shoulder fades to him. Jay Cutler loves to throw those balls, so that's going to be huge. But I worry about Martellus Bennett. I know I said I think we're going to pick someone in the 5th round. It's probably going to be a tight end. That's really what I believe out of somewhere. I haven't looked. I haven't got past my mock draft yet of my 5th round. I haven't really figured that out yet. But speaking of my mock draft, I've been looking at a few players the Bears will pick, and I think Phil Emery's going to make a move maybe to trade up and get C.J. Mosley out of Alabama. The guy is a stud. He can hit. He can cover. He has good hips and has great instincts as well. He's one of the reasons Alabama was one of the best teams in the entire nation for multiple years. Now, a lot of people are saying, what about HaHa Clinton Dix out of Alabama? I think Chicago has really solidified the back of their defense with the signings of M.D. Jennings and Ryan Mundy. I think the linebacker spot is where we are lacking a little bit. Now, like I said, I don't think Shea McClellan's going to be the guy we think he is, and I think he's really going to find his way to Chicago fast after this year. And I think John Bostic's going to be a stud in about 2 years. He's still young. He's still learning. Kasim Green, I I watched the guy this year. He is slow. He can't play. He got like a lucky interception earlier this year, or last year actually. And it was like I think Major Wright hit somebody, popped it up in there. He caught it, and but I mean, other than that, I didn't see him do anything all year. He was lost out there, and I think that's where C.J. Mosley will come in and fill that in as the Bears. I don't know. I think C.J. Mosley is going to be that guy that comes in and is going to make a difference for the team. A lot of people are talking about Timmy Jernigan, and when I watched the National Championship game with Timmy Jernigan, he was winded early. Now, in the NFL, they're going to expect him to lose about 30 pounds, and the Bears don't need a huge run stopper. They need somebody to not even take on two runners or two blockers. All they need is somebody to fill that gap between the center and the guard on whichever side. And that's it. Now Timmy Jernigan will be more of a one technique and be right in front of the center. But I just don't see the Bears picking him or even going for a stretch at him. But Travis Swanson out of Arkansas is another guy. I think the Bears. I talked about earlier how the Bears needed, or last episode that is, talk about how the Bears need to get rid of Roberto Garza, and Travis Swanson out of Arkansas could be that guy that could fill those shoes and really move the Bears' offensive line into another level. They've already taken a level from mediocre to, I would say, above average. But now I feel like if the Travis Swanson out of Arkansas, they pick him with the 51st pick in the second round, I think he'll move up and above Garza and solidify that line and make them great. And with a great offensive line, a top three running back in the league in Matt Forte who can do it all, I could see the Bears making a strong push. Now, there's been a lot of talk of how good are the Bears going to be next year. And I see them, honestly, as a playoff team. I don't feel like other teams in the NFC North have made pushes like the Bears have to be better. And I fully expect the Bears to be a great team. If depending how their draft goes and how that fills out, there's an opportunity the Bears could be a Super Bowl contender if they get the right pieces as a center, an outside linebacker. They find a backup tight end besides Dante Rosario who couldn't catch a cold in the winter, and the Bears also want to look at a future corner, a good nickelback corner. I don't think the Bears have that right now, and maybe a developmental quarterback. Now, I had wrote a blog a few months ago on ESPN about Jimmy Garoppolo and how I thought the Bears should take him out of EIU, but he's climbed up the board. He's going in the first round. Bears aren't going to stretch on them. Bears are looking for a fifth round pick, and a fifth round pick. I could see the Bears maybe in the third round picking Zach Mettenberger. He's kind of the same style as Cutler, not as athletic, but he has a strong arm. And I'm not sure if the Bears want a less mobile quarterback than Cutler, but if Trestman can mold this guy and that offensive line into a complete unit, it could be we could be talking a 30 touchdown, 10 interception year for a guy who Trestman molds. And one other guy I talked about a little while ago was Anthony Barr. I talked about it last episode, actually, how I thought the Bears might take Anthony Barr. I'm higher on C.J. Mosley. He's better in coverage than Anthony Barr, but Anthony Barr is a better pass rusher. But the Bears are, well, they're got plenty of those now. They've got enough for about once every down rotation. And Anthony Barr is more of a Von Miller kind of player, and I just can't see it happening. And one other player I could see slipping into the second round and the Bears picking up is Bradley Roby out of Ohio State. He's there's been a lot of talk of maybe his speed's not as good, but I could honestly see him being that guy that could come in the third round, and I think he's gonna be a good pro. He's solid in the coverages. He's smart. He can read the quarterback. He follows their eyes. He knows the routes that the wide receivers are gonna run, and I fully expect Bradley Roby, if not take him out of the Chicago Bears, wherever he goes, to be a great corner wherever he goes. But yeah, there's a lot of players that the Bears really need to look at. A lot of people have talked about Eric Ebon out of North Carolina. He's that they don't know what he's kind of like. I'd almost say he's like what's his name, Jimmy Graham down in New Orleans. He's a wide receiver hybrid kind of guy. And but I don't see the Bears stretching for him in the first round. He's going in the first round. There's no doubt about it. Guy's 254 pounds and can straight out fly. And I don't see the Bears stretching on him to any extent. Now, one thing the Bears do need to watch is the backup running back role. The Ford kid out of LSU is there, but other than that, there's nobody. And Josh Harris out of Wake Forest is where he's from. Out of Wake Forest is a guy I could see the Bears taking, and he is fast. He's powerful, and he's a stud. And the guy is a physical. It blows my mind. Google him. Just Google the guy, Josh Harris, Wake Forest, and your mind will be blown at the size of this guy. And he runs a 4.5 40. There's been reports that he's even run a sub 4.4. And the guy is a brick house, and I wouldn't want to be hit by him myself. Another guy actually from my alma mater, Murray State University. Bears did sign Austin Lane. He was actually drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think Austin Lane's going to... He's about a 2 sack a year kind of guy. Nothing too insane. But going back to talking about the offensive line, Allen, Houston, and Young are making $34.35 million collectively. And do you really want one of them on the bench at all times if all three are playing in? And that's going back to, I think, Willie Young and Okay, let me get this. Idonije, I'll say Idonije, will come in and play on the defensive tackles and be able to succeed there along with Ratliff. And going back talking about Brandon Roby, or Bradley Roby, that is, I don't see Zach Bowman being that nickel corner that can really succeed in the NFL and bring the pressure off Jennings and Tillman. And I worry about that, and I think that's why the Bears may, if Roby slips the second round, they're gonna nab him up as fast as they can. But yeah, that's all the time we got today for the Chicago Bears Roundup. I'm JT Wiskowski. Thank you for tuning in, Bear fans, and hashtag Bear Down.